Well, thank you. Just like to remind everybody that I'm part of the problem because I work for the state. You know, I'm very, very nervous after hearing this presentation because, you know, I heard some of the things said here. I don't see that growth. I don't see that, the appreciation of property values. Quite the contrary. Property values around here have really deteriorated. How many people have walked away from their homes? You know, we have a large percentage of our population lives on fixed income. And the state, like us, we're going to come in and we use words like mandate, you gotta, or this, or $1,000 fine, instead of working and finding solutions. Yeah, everybody says we ought to have grants. Where are you going to get grants? And I've talked to the Water District about working with Manny Perez and some other people for communities that fit in this same category. But I'll tell you, if I was somebody that was looking, and I think it's already been mentioned by a couple of the people up there, if I was looking at moving to Yucca Valley and I heard this presentation tonight, I would say, I cannot afford this. Well, what's going to happen? I'm going to retire in a few years and I'm going to come up there on a fixed income and I'm going to get hammered because this situation, which has continued to grow, and I submit to you, a lot of the costs are state costs. I mean, how many years has this been going on? A study here, a study there. I tell you, maybe you guys live in a different community. This is not Newport Beach or Beverly Hills. It's been tough up here. And I'll tell you, that's what I get. Maybe I'm missing something. So I'm very, very nervous. I work for the state, and as soon as I hear the words that come through, and maybe it was disguised, unfunded mandate, you got to do this or else, and you got to pay for it. But the state is not going to help you. I'm very, very nervous. Now, I told you last night I was encouraged by the new governor. And he said, I want to talk to you about some of the problems. And he said, the Morongo Basin, you don't think I'm going to talk to Jerry Brown about this? I said, Governor, first thing I'm going to say is, Governor Brown, what we want in Yucca Valley, we want you to declare Yucca Valley a historical site because we're going to be a ghost town. And if we don't start looking at this, at least from some perspective of a cost analysis, you know, this is never going to happen. $125 million, you know, Pastor Roger, I agree with you. This, we have to remember what type of community. You know, we're going to have, what, 3 more businesses close? You know, and as I said, I hate to reiterate it, but a number of people have just walked away from their homes. Anybody that has a building lot, do you want to, can you afford to build after hearing this tonight? So I think we have to be very, very careful of this rhetoric, for one thing. And if I'm part of the state, and I read the surveys about the governor, the state legislators. Have you ever seen our popularity rating? I mean, it's not 50% or 30% or 11%. It's less than 10%, and then you wonder why. People have lost confidence in our state government. So, you know, I got to tell you up front, I support the septic tanks. I support some of the things that are happening. But you have to have a reality check in terms of the economics and demographics of our community. We have a lot of senior citizens, and they're very, very nervous about some of these impacts and the talk about the fees, because they're just going to walk away and leave this community. And we haven't had, you look at our population statistics for the last 15 years, and I know a lot of people think it's been going up, up, up. Quite the contrary. It's been like this. In fact, lately it's probably goes down. And I'll tell you, a lot of it depends on the Marine Corps base, because economically we're all part of the Morongo Basin. I think we know that. But I think there were some very, very good points. But here's somebody that comes from Sacramento, where I work in Sacramento. All I can say is I'm very nervous about this presentation. Yeah, I want a septic system. Yeah, I think we got to do it. All those things, and you can't continue to have that water go into your. But God, we got to be very, very careful when we start talking 125 million to people that cannot afford it, because we do not have the businesses or what, and the state's not going to give you the money. So the only thing, obviously, I got a little excited here. I think you're going to keep me waiting here 2 hours. I was getting nervous. I thought you were going to forget me. But the only thing I could say is that keep me in the loop on this. I'm not afraid to, to talk to Governor Brown. Or at least this governor's talking to me. The last one, we got sideways on too many issues. But, I'm only up there a few more years. And don't forget, as I said last night, I'll say the same thing to this group here. I work for these people here and you, and we're going to get a bloody nose, but we got to protect our constituents. Thank you.
We're coming to see you in a couple weeks.